Well, I'm going to do a little bit of a different walk today. I normally would like to be at the mountains today, but I was out in the mountains yesterday, that was very nice. So today I'm going to do a city walk, slightly different one. It's just fancy a good walk. So it's going to be a nice day, a little bit chilly to start off with. This is Glenmore Reservoir. Now, me being a creature of habit, I always do this one anti-clockwise. I park at the other end and go all the way around through the Weasel Head and then come back round this way. However, today, to be an absolute rebel, I have decided that I'm going to go around clockwise. I know, terrible, isn't it? But that nice across there, don't they? Yeah. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Let's catch that sun. Yes. Now my trip is going to take me all the way up and around. It's about 12 kilometres, depending on which way you go. So I'm going to head down this way. That's Rocky View Hospital over there, that large building you can see. Straight across in front of me is Heritage Park, and right around the other side of there it goes into what they call South Glenmore, and then up around and back to where I started. There is a dam up here. I'm not sure if I'm going to incorporate the dam. It's a little bit of a further walk if I incorporate the dam. However, it's also quite pleasant. So I'm going to set off, stop rabbiting, and get moving. The light and that on the leaves and that up here is absolutely amazing. Look at the vines on the fence here. Fantastic red. Yes. Now that is a nice colour. It's a very nice walk around here. I prefer to walk in forests because it's softer, but what I find is by the side of the pathways there's always this nice flat grass area that they tend to mow. I actually prefer to walk on here than the tarmac. I don't like walking on hard surfaces. But if you've not done this walk, it's actually very pleasant. Quite a lot of people, a lot of cyclists do this one because it's only 12 kilometres all the way around. It's a very short trip on a bike. It doesn't take you long at all. The last time I came down here I found a large bunch of keys. I attached them to this fence, hoping that somebody would probably come back and see if they could find them. So we shall see if they do. See if they're gone. Yeah. Off to my left is a golf course, and the path I used to go up the other side of the golf course and down this side. And they put this rather nice pathway between the golf course and the reservoir, which upset the golfers quite a bit. However, the rest of everybody in the city actually made it very nice. It always amazes me how much time and effort and resources they put into golf courses. Yes, I like golf courses because they are a huge green space for a city. In that respect, absolutely amazing. However, there's such a huge sort of use of resources. But I would much rather see the golf course than covered in concrete and houses. So it's a double-edged sword, but and a lot of people like playing golf. I have relatives that play golf all the time. They absolutely love it. I don't, because I'm useless at it. I can hit the ball, and I can hit the ball a considerable distance. However, in what direction that ball's going to go, not a clue. But if I actually make contact with the ball, it flies. I can really get it to go, but not where I want it to go. So I'm glad I came around this way now. So look at me, rebel, doing it clockwise. Oh my god. Yes, got to live dangerously in life, I guess. Yeah. They actually have this machine. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. They actually have this machine. It's a great big wagon going along with a huge air blower on it, blowing the leaves off the path. Look at this. That is amazing. Blowing all the leaves off. See, to me, I just call that additional hazards. You know, if you're playing golf and you've got trees on the golf course, guess what? You know, there's going to be leaves everywhere. Have at it. Part of life. However, I guess the golfers don't like the leaves, I guess. Some of them get very particular about it. Which, that's up to them, I guess. I run out of side bit. Oh, look at this. This is the sound that I love. Listen to that. Isn't that an amazing sound? Crunching through the leaves. Absolutely brilliant. Look at this guy. Oh, there's a whole convoy of them now. Oh my god. There's leaves on the grass. They're invading. Call out the National Guard. Yes. Alternatively, just play the game around the leaves. You know, it's not rocket science. Oh, you got to laugh in life sometimes. Yeah. Right. Well, I will stop rabbiting and laughing at the golfers, and carry on my way. That's a nice picture. I do like that. Right, I'm very nearly at the end of the golf course here, and I end up alongside a road called Glenmore Trail, which is a fairly busy road and it's going to be noisy, so we'll continue this along here. It's nice to see they put in some new trees. Lots of nice new trees in here. That's very nice to see. Yes. That is one good thing about the city. We do have this thing, it's called the urban forest, and it is compulsory when you build houses and what have you to make sure that there are trees or shrub packages and stuff like that put in. This is actually part of the building requirements. It's called the urban forest, and all over Calgary. It's one good thing about golf courses, I'll give them that. They do have some very large, very nice trees. Look at the colours on there, look at that. Everybody today, I can guarantee you, everybody today is out in the mountains chasing the larches. There are lots of places where there's amazing valleys full of larch trees and stuff, and they do look absolutely stunning. But look at that. That's an everyday bloody poplar, and it is absolutely stunning. Right, I'm going to head up. Let me say, see that road up there? That is, oh, in the train. That is Glenmore. Now, when I get up here, I can't remember how far left I have to go. There is a pedestrian way that'll take me the other side of Glenmore, and I could incorporate the dam, or that adds about another 2 or 3 kilometres to the trip, or I can just stay on this side, cut along the bank at the bottom there, and that'll take me up to back end of Peter Lockheed, that hospital over there, that big white building you can see through the trees. That's Peter Lockheed Hospital. No, Peter Lockheed? No, Rocky View, sorry. Many apologies, that's Rocky View. Yeah. My hospital's mixed up there. We have 4 major hospitals in Calgary. Yes. Apologies if I got that wrong, that's Rocky View. Yeah. Just remembered that. It's early o'clock and I'm old, so you'll have to let me off for that one. Yeah. Yeah, trees in the distance. That'd be nice when I get right round the other side there. Just noticed there's a whole bunch of yellow trees. So I've got to decide on whether I am going to go around through the dam or around and just across this little causeway. It's a considerably shorter distance to do the causeway. Ah. We have a fence here. Why do we have a fence? I don't remember seeing that before. Interesting. There's a set of stairs here that head down. There is, let's see how far up. Oh, I see what they've done. Yeah. Right, I'm going to take the stairs, I think. There is a walkway further up that road that'll take me around across the dam, which is over there in the distance, and around the top of there. That adds about another 3 kilometres to the trip. I don't really want to do that, I don't think. So I'm going to cut across this way. I'm going to head down along the side of the reservoir. Oh, hang on, somebody coming up. Hi there. Morning. Nice day, isn't it?
Sure is.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm going to head around that way. Head up along that side. Yeah. Right, I'm going to switch this off while I go across here. Now that has to be a good way to travel around the... well, that's a nice kayak he's got there. Yeah. Right, now, up along the side here, there is a very nice path that goes up and over and around, but I don't really want to go that way. I happen to know that if I cut down, there's a little gap in that fence up here, and if I cut down through that little fence, which is just up here, I think. Oh, that traffic's horrendous, isn't it? This is Sunday morning. You should see the traffic down across here when it's a work day. This is Sunday morning. You can keep that, I'm afraid. That is just way too much noise for me. That's why I like to be out in the mountains. Yeah. Right. There's a gap in the fence. Oh, they've actually installed a proper gap. Yeah. I think so many people were using this, they actually turned it into a path. Yeah. So I am going to, me being me, I'd much rather not walk on tarmac if I don't have to. Yeah. So, oh, there we go, that's better. Oh, much better. Rocks and grass. Absolutely perfect. Yes, very nice. Don't have to go too far before you start getting away from all that traffic noise too. So once I'm up here a little ways, I can get away from all that traffic. Yes, this little path through here used to be kind of not very well used, but it was always a nice little shortcut. There is off to my left hand side, up through those trees, there is the proper pathway, if you like, the proper cycle track and pathway is up in there, but I would much rather walk along here. Yes, just up through those trees up there, there is a proper trail, proper path. But this is much nicer indeed. That's the causeway. Oh, there's a kayak right over the other side there, look. That's where I've just come along. The other side of the bank at the top there, that's where that golf course is. I'm going to head along this way and try not to fall in the reservoir. That would not be good. That is the only thing where I live. The water temperature is never too far above freezing. You know, in the height of summer, if you've had really hot weather, you might find the top 1 or 2 feet of water might be reasonable. But I can tell you now, beyond that, it is not reasonable at all. You fall in some of that water, you can really be in trouble. Oops, like detour here. Now I am going to need to pay attention so I don't fall in. Huh. Well, that's nice. Looks like we've had a little bit of erosion along there. A lot of Calgary is this sandstone. Yeah, a lot of sandstone around here, which is why you'll see a lot of the buildings, early buildings in Calgary, all built as sandstone. Amazing construction. Now, I'll tell you now, you can continue on around this edge. Don't. Make sure you go up this trail up here, and this will get you out of here. You can continue on that way a little ways, but don't do that because it gets to a point where it's actually quite nasty to get around, and there's a very good possibility you will fall in the reservoir. I'm sure the rescue people will have something to say about it if you do that. So just come up this way, up to the top. There's even steps, look, if you know where to find them. right at the top. Used to be a bench up here somewhere. See if there still is. Some are up here. Ah, yes, it is still there. Over there in the trees, and if you can see it, that's the boat. There's a paddle wheeler that runs around here. It's been laid up for a little bit, not sure why. They've been doing some refurbishment. So just in case you don't bring your compass with you, we have one here. You can't see them very well at the moment, but from here, right out across the skyline there, that's all the mountains. I can see them, a bit hazy out there. Yeah, I'm going to continue on my way around this way. This is the tarmac path at the top. If you go over the bridge, you come that way. And I'm now going to head out this way. Nice view though, eh? Can't odds that. Right. This is Rocky View Hospital, not Peter Lockheed. Any apologies for that. I'm going to continue along this way and do some more in a bit. Right. This is the back of the hospital. Pathway goes right across the back of it here. Again, many nice trees. Yeah. They do keep it nice. It'd be nice if we didn't need hospitals, but we do. But, thank goodness they're there. Yeah. We need them. Yeah. Right. Very nice. Oh, that for a view. That is very nice. Like I say, you can walk along the bottom of here. That's why there's all these paths around here. But I prefer to walk along the top on this bit. Now, this sign is for real, because I have come around here before. There's a helipad just around this corner. I have come around here before now. He says as he hears a helicopter. That's a traffic helicopter. Yeah, there is a helipad just off to my left here. But kicks up quite the breeze when they come in. Yeah. I was over at Foothills one time. So you'll see all the way along here, there's these little paths and benches and all that kind of stuff. So you can walk along the bottom of the reservoir, but it's a bit hit and miss because it's not an approved trail. There are little bits that you can walk along that are quite pleasant, but you can find yourself in areas where there really isn't much trail to actually walk on. And falling in the reservoir would make for a really bad day. So, all over the city, you'll see we have pathways everywhere. I hear a lot of garbage from people saying that Calgary is not a walkable or bikeable city, and that's just absolute garbage. And that's usually written by people that have never ever actually been here. Yeah, I think I'm right in saying that we've got over 800 kilometers of pathways. I believe it's actually now more, don't quote me, it could be as high as 1,000, because they keep adding more and more and more all the time, which is great. But I'm going to head this way. Most communities in Calgary are joined together with all these pathways. If you notice, there is a yellow line up the middle for left and right traffic. Yeah. So this is a very popular bike route. People do like biking around this way. See, there's pathways everywhere that head down to the reservoir over the top. There is one gap around here that you can't really walk through very well. You can walk along the edge if you want, but I don't really want to walk along there. It takes you at the back of Heritage Park. But, I'd rather just go around this way. Now some of this trail does involve going through small residential areas. I'll show you where they are. Yeah. Down through here. Morning.
Morning.
Always a lot of people out and about on the trails. It's good. So you go down the bottom of this one, and then we're going to turn right, then head up around that way. So I shall switch this off for a bit. Now this section through the one of the residential areas here doesn't have any pathways until further up. It's a fairly pleasant walk down through here. Trees are looking nice, I have to admit. Lots of nice yellows, look at those ones there. That is very nice. There is a sidewalk a bit further around, but this section doesn't have any. Just watch out for cars. It's a bit of a short area. There's not that many cars come through here. Hey, Mr. Squirrel, how are you? Yeah. Yes, lots of nice trees. The trees, the lovely colours. Yes. Very nice. And then just down here on the right hand side you get back onto the pathway there in a moment, so I shall do that when I get there. Right, so you walk down the road a little way and then you will come to this little piece here. We'll turn right. So if you follow that fence line that I was showing you earlier up and around, it brings you down the back of this piece of grass here, that long piece of grass there. If you follow that all the way up the top, it takes you up to the back of Heritage Park there, and you can get quite a nice view from the top. However, then you've got to just walk down this piece of grass. So I actually prefer to walk down through the pathway there, much nicer. Looks like they're going to be building something in there, not sure what. This is all Heritage Park over here. It's like a history village, if you like. It's a good place to come and visit. I must admit, I used to go there 4 or 5 times a year. Great place for photography. However, it got quite expensive to get in there. Then they started charging extra for the car museum, which is in there. They got some very nice cars in there. Got some amazing cars in there. They started charging extra to get in there. And then to add insult to injury, they then started charging you for parking as well. So for me to come here for the day to do those, it cost me $100 including parking. So sorry, not going to happen. They priced themselves out the market in a lot of respects, because people will pay a certain amount for things. It's, you know, not everything in life is free. We know it's not. There are costs involved in building and operating these places and that, and everybody understands that. However, the amount that they're charging for some of this stuff was absolutely stunning. And then they introduced paid parking, so that was the final straw for me. I just said, nah, not coming anymore, and I haven't been since. Like I say, I used to go 4 or 5 times a year, and it is a very enjoyable place. I mean, if you've never been there, go there, because it's actually an enjoyable place to go around. But I've been there so many times that I don't really need to go anymore. Tell you what though, in there, and you don't have to pay to get into the bakery. I can smell it. There is a bakery in there, and they make the best sausage rolls and buns that you can imagine. Absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. Yes, oh, I can smell them. Yeah, Yes, they did themselves a complete disservice when they started charging for parking here. That I can tell you. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, see this is the entrance to what's the name? Peter McKean and his wife built a very nice house up in there, and there's a gasoline alley over there, and there's all kinds of shops and stores in there. The bakery is well worth a visit. If you like sausage rolls and onion bread, cheesy onion bread, oh, go there. Best in the city, absolutely guarantee it. Right, I'm going to continue my walk all the way around. Got a considerable distance to go yet. Now they do run trains up in here. They have steam trains up in here, and they have little shuttle trains and all kinds of stuff. So these rail lines, although this is a heritage park, they do actually run trains through here, so do pay attention. When the arms are down, there are trains coming. Yeah. At Christmas they do the amazing trains in here and what have you. They have the 12 days of Christmas and all that kind of stuff, which is very good, and I must admit I used to enjoy going to it. However, I don't enjoy paying an absolute fortune to go there. So, right, so the trail for the rest of the park continues this way. On it. There's a very good sailing club in here if you want to learn to go sailing. My eldest son learnt to do sailing in here. He used to love it. There's a sailing club piece there and around the other side. And when we get around there, I'll show you where the other piece is as well. There's another bit around the other side, which is way off around that piece of peninsula over that side. So I have a considerable distance to go, so I will get going. Right, come down at the bottom here, a bit closer to the reservoir. Heritage Park sign is up there, top of the hill. Big H there. Shows you how the wind, there's hardly any wind, so it shows you how the wind picks up the waves there. This is why it's such a good place for sailing, because there's enough open space to generate a good wind, which obviously you need for sailing, but it's also you're not going to find 10-foot waves in here, you know. So, but if that is not pleasant, I don't know what it is. Look at that. Very nice, eh? All over there on top of the hill you can see the windmill and the oil derricks and what have you up there from the early oil exploration and what have you in Calgary. That's all over there. Listen to that. That is nice, eh? That's a good sound. Living where I live, I mean, we have some massive lakes. Some of our lakes are just insanely large, and you get some decent sized waves on it. But where I used to live, it was right on the coast, and that's one thing that I love being in the mountains, but the sound and the smell of the sea, that is something else altogether. But I have to say, that's very nice, eh? Look at that. Yep, I'll take that. Right, I'm going to continue on around here. Oh, I do like that sound, it's rather nice. This fluffy stuff that you can see in the trees here with all the seeds on it, that's actually clematis. Believe it or not, it's wild clematis. And they have these very nice yellowy coloured flowers on them when they're in the spring. Well, that one certainly will never run out of water, hopefully. They've just modified the dam, because we had the floods in 2013. I've mentioned them in numerous of my other videos. And they've modified the dam so they can actually double the capacity of this reservoir if they have to. Like if we get another big flood event, they can put the top doors up and we can get a lot more water in here now, which would have been really handy at the time of the floods. But however, hindsight is always 2020. You don't know until it happens. It was supposed to be 1 in 100 year storm, but we also had one in 2005 as well, so somebody's math is a little off. But, yeah, if you look away in the distance, right on the, almost on the skyline, that's where the trail goes back around. That's where I've got to head. So yeah, that's the sailing club over there, part of it, and then there's more of the sailing club up and around this corner over here. What a great sound, eh? Let's say there is a tarmac path which goes all the way around here, but I must admit I prefer to walk in the trees, especially this time of the year. Look at that, look at the colours with the sunlight on them. This water is actually fairly high, I've noticed that. The water flowing out the mountains at the moment, it's fairly slow. I was up there yesterday and a lot of the creeks, they're pretty low. We haven't had much rainfall, so it looks like they've topped the reservoir right up. It's not in flood state. If it was, I'd be underwater now. However, this bank off to my side here is also a berm to keep the water in the reservoir. Yeah. Very, very pleasant walk. Along the corner over there, all that yellow is in the middle, there's like a seawall kind of walkway that goes round. In the winter they have to close that because it gets so icy. But this time of year, very nice walk. So I will stop rabbiting for a bit and continue on around. And the walk continues. I just heard the train whistle. Sounds like they're going to be running a steam train today. I just heard the steam whistle. Love that sound. Steam whistles are hard to beat. Right, I don't really want to walk along the edge of the reservoir at the moment because it's pretty full, so I will have to get back onto the path here for a little bit. Oh, so they rebuilt this piece. Tarmac this section, that's good. Right, I am going to continue that way. Hello shadow people, I'm going to continue that way. Right, this is the turn off to the bottom path. Now in the winter this bottom path, it can freeze up pretty bad. Get some really bad ice around this bottom corner, I'll show you where. So they normally go off to the left, but today I'm going along the bottom. So they have a gate on here, so in the winter they quite often close this bit because it is so icy along here. Just literally you can have a foot of ice along here and it tapers towards the water, so never good. Yeah. See, there is a pathway that comes all the way along the side there. It comes out there. For today's walk I'm just going to go right round. I don't know if it's still here. I'll have a look when I get around the other side. Up along here there used to be a bench right on the corner, then they put in a new fence, but the bench was the other side of the fence now, so they've re-tarmacked all this as well, because last time I came along this was pretty much like a stony road, so it looks like they've redone all this bit as well, which is very nice. At least the city does do stuff like that. Like I was saying earlier, it is a very bikeable, a very walkable city. If you like bike riding, there's some amazing places here. I was going to head downtown today, but I usually do the downtown walk, so I thought I'd do something different. This is rather nice. I did just hear the train whistle, so we might hear that again in a moment. Oh, berries on there. That's a good stash of berries. That's a mountain ash or rowan tree or whatever people would like to call it, but mountain ash. And it's next year, once those berries have been on there for the whole of the winter, they tend to ferment, and the robins, we get these giant robins. When the robins come in the spring to eat those berries, they've been fermenting all winter. The robins get half drunk on them. It's actually quite amazing. You see these big robins flopping around in the garden. So they've been eating too many berries. Now, that is an important food source for them. So nice to see that there. I'm a great believer that, yes, I like to see all the big trees and that in the cities and all that kind of stuff, and that's very nice. But I would like to see more fruit trees planted. Like, there's no reason why we can't have fruit trees planted on our boulevards and walkways, like along here. Why is there not fruit trees along here? You know, I know we have to be careful with bears and stuff like that, because there's a lot of bears. They do actually. The far end of here is what they call the weasel head. But, I don't actually have any bear spray with me today, but you can quite often see bears down in there. That's always somewhere to be very bear aware. They do come in there, especially not so much this time of the year, but like early spring, when they're up and they're foraging for food. They'll quite often come in from the mountains. They get attracted to the city and the smells of food and all that good stuff. Bear sense of smell is astounding. They can smell food from further than you can imagine. But I would like to see more berry trees and stuff, like what I call wildlife trees. You know, we have all along here, these are all cotoneasters, and we have poplars. There's all kinds of Alberta rose in here and all that kind of stuff. But I would like to see more. That's something that we should have. Hear the sounds of the city. Eh? So you stand and look at this, and you think that white building right through the middle there, that is Rocky View Hospital. I just came past there, but the whole city is just over that way. You know, although Calgary is a city, it's so spread out. It's such a vast area. It's spread out over a huge area. And there's so much urban space, like forest space, walkable space. Brilliant. Love living here. Even in the middle of winter when it's minus 30. It's plus 30 in the summer, minus 30 in the winter. Hard to beat it, I can tell you. Right, I'm going to see if that bench is still the other side of the tree. Hello, shadow people. Well, it looks like they rebuilt this corner. This corner was always pretty rough. And this was the corner that had the bench on it, the other side of the fence. So, yes, just where this piece is that pulls out here, there was a fence. And right about here, there was a bench that you couldn't get to. So, looks like they rebuilt all that, which is rather nice. I've seen two people fishing now. I haven't seen anybody catch any fish, but I've seen two people fishing. Yeah. It's supposed to be good fishing there. Yeah. Oh, it looks like they redid this corner. So that's very nice. Yeah. Yes, this is where the bench was. They've changed all that since I was here last. They've been doing a lot of maintenance, if you like, on the hills there to stop the slopes eroding, because that has been a problem in the past. Oh, they put a set of steps in too. There used to be a bit along here where you had to kind of, if you're coming from the top path down, it was a very popular route. So I guess their solution was put in some steps. What a great idea. Yes. I can't film that at the moment because I'm literally head on straight into the sun. But, so this is all new along here. I know they were doing a bunch of construction along here. Didn't know what they were building. Oh, they've made this very nice. Yeah, redone steps all the way to the top of the hill. Some nice benches up there. The other tarmac path just runs parallel to where I am now along the top of the hill. So, we've got some areas here with nice new trees in it. Some fences around it to keep the beavers out. There's a lot of beavers around here, I tell you. I passed an area earlier on that there's probably about 20 or 30 small trees in there that the beavers had out of there. They have to eat too, so this sailing club around here, this is the other end of the sailing club. This is where my eldest did his sailing, was out of this one, I believe. Yeah. Right, I've got all that way round to go yet. I don't think I'm quite halfway. I think once I get round past the sailing club there, I think that's pretty much the halfway point. So I've done about 5 or 6 kilometres now, I guess, something like that. But the last part is more trees than path, so that's good. Right, so we'll do some more when I get around. Alright, this is the sailing club. So this is where my eldest did his sailing. There's a city way over there in the distance. You can just see the Calgary town and a few buildings. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad I came round the way I did. I must admit, it's rather nice. There is a map over here. Yeah, so this is where I am now. This is where I started. I parked about somewhere along here, went around here over the causeway and around, so I'm about here. So yeah, I'm probably about halfway round-ish, something like that. And then going to head down through the Weasel Head, which is down over that way. Yeah, that is a very nice view. Yeah. I saw somebody fall in the reservoir. That lady down there unfortunately just slipped down the slope. Oops, looks like she's alright though. Doesn't look like she needs help. Yeah. Yes, that's where my eldest did the sailing. Good memories. That's what I call the busy side of the reservoir. This side over here, when I get around this side, I get back into the trees and stuff. And get back into the more forested areas. So that'll be good. Now, this is rather cool. This is a music park. So there's all kinds of tubes and things here. But you can actually play these. You could if you knew how to play them, but I don't. I'm somewhat musically challenged. But there's all kinds of things here that the kids can do and experiment with music. Big tubes there. Yeah. Xylophones, or whatever they call these things. I think they're called xylophones. Yes. Gives the kids an interest in stuff. And that's good. Gets them out and about. Teaches them some things. That's rather cool. Right, I'm going to continue on my way. Round to my left. Right, there we go. Back onto a dive trail. There is a very nice tarmac trail. You can go all the way around this reservoir on a tarmac path. You can bike all the way around it. However, I prefer these paths. And especially as I go this way further, there's some very nice pathways up through the trees and what have you. Really nice. I do like to walk along this way. I'm not a great tarmac person. It might sound stupid, but I actually find it hurts my feet more to walk on smooth tarmac than it does to walk on this stuff. I don't know why. I keep seeing all the mud banks along the side. They're absolutely full of holes. The birds. Yeah. I can't remember what kind of birds they are. However, there's loads on. There was a piece a bit further back round near what I call the seawall piece. And it's absolutely full of birds' nests. Absolutely full of it. Yeah. Yeah, quite a lot of people wandering around. Looks like a lot of people got the same view. The reason I've come this way around is so that I don't get the low sun in my eyes walking around that way. The sun is now behind me. Unfortunately, it gets my shadow in the picture. Hello. But at least I'm not staring at the sun all the way around. Once I get back up over the top, over that far side over there, there's a bit more shade along there. I can walk through the trees. Yeah. Very nice picnic sites and what have you all the way around here. There's loads of little picnic spots. Yes, very nice indeed. There is a smaller trail just off to my left here. See, just up through there. Goes up through the trees this way. Right, battery change. So I got halfway around before I needed to change battery. So that's not too bad. Did pretty well. As I was just saying, I met quite a lot of people wandering around. A lot of people out jogging, biking, and all that kind of good stuff. So that's good. Seen a couple of people in kayaks. There's another guy over there just going around the corner in a kayak there. I don't know where the guy in the green one went. He was way over the other side there. Not sure where he is. I will continue this way. Looks like a lot of the trees have lost their leaves already. It's good though. They all fall on the ground. All extra food for the forest. Very, very important. A lot of people, they rake up all their leaves and stuff at home and they send them off for composting here in the city. We have a very good composting system here in the city. However, what I used to do with them was collect up all my leaves, let them dry out, and I had a large plastic garbage can. So I would put my weedy whacker in the garbage can, fill it with leaves, dried leaves, put the lid on as best you can, and hit the button and use it as like a giant blender. And I used to grind all my leaves up into like next to nothing, and literally a full garbage can turns into about 3 inches of very finely chopped material in the bottom. And then I would just sprinkle that around in my flower beds and in my garden there, around the trees and stuff. Great little area of mulch. Next spring you can't even see it, it's just completely disintegrated, but it's good food for the plants. But a lot of people, they rake up all that stuff. Look at all these leaves. There's a squirrel in there somewhere. They rake up all these leaves and they're losing all of those nutrients. Just grind them up, stick them in the garden there. Helps with the soil, certainly helps with the quality of the soil, I can tell you. Makes a huge difference. And hey presto, food for the garden, and it's free. Free is good. Yeah. It's a good sized lake right in the middle of the city, eh? Excellent. Yeah. Right. This gets a little narrower along here, so I will have to put this away for a bit. There's a lot of tree roots. Like I say, there are many walkways and pathways around here. I prefer this end of the trail, the loop around, because it's more trees, more forest, more mud. It's great. Like I say, you can do it all the way around on the tarmac trail if you want, but this is more me. I prefer it. Yeah. Oh, tree down across the steps. There's all kinds of little stepways in here. There's a tree down across that one, and I don't have my saw with me, so not a lot I can do about that, I'm afraid. So normally I clear out trails and stuff. Anybody who knows me, that's what I spend most of my weekends doing, clearing out trails and fixing stuff. However, today I'm having an enjoyable walk day, which is actually difficult for me because I prefer to actually be doing something. Yeah. I suspect I've got to go grocery shopping later. I suspect my grocery shopping will involve getting some cookables for a campfire, and I may well be going for a campfire tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving's Day, I think, so I think I might head out into the mountains and do a campfire. Not sure. I shall see. It's a shame that they haven't invented a video that has scent on it, like, because the smell of this forest, these leaves, oh, absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. Yeah. This area down through here is what they call South Glenmore Park. Like I say, the city's got many great parks, many parks, and like wildlife areas and what have you. Hey, Mr. Squirrel, I see you. There he goes. Off up the tree. He's going to hide around the tree. He thinks I can't see you. Yes, I can. You're high enough, you think you're safe up there. There you go. Hello. It's hoping I've got food, but I'm not feeding you, because that's bad, because then you don't survive the winter. I'm sure people do feed them, but that doesn't help them survive the winter, I'm afraid. Yeah. Trees are looking nice down through here. A lot of them are growing back up. Just up to my left here, on top of the hill, a few years back, somebody sneaked in here in the middle of the night and cut out a whole bunch of trees. The city know who it is. There's a guy that lives in one of the houses off to my left here, likes to have a view of the lake. Well, of course, as the trees grew, and this is public land, this is not private land, this is public land, they came up with a bright idea that he would cut all the trees down so he still had his view. And the city know who it is, so their solution to that was out on the green space between the top of this hill and where that particular guy lives. They planted a whole bunch of trees, literally hundreds and hundreds of trees in like some new blocks, and I'm thinking perfect. So he actually did us a favour. His actions, if you like, for want of a better word, resulted in vast amounts of extra trees being planted up on the top there. So he didn't get what he wanted in the end, and I will leave it at that. But it wasn't the first time that particular gentleman had done that, so all worked out good in the end. We got more trees, and he lost his view. Oh dear, how sad. Yeah. Right. It's public space. Don't destroy public space for your own greed. That's something I will never tolerate. Not ever. Yeah. Very nice walk down through here, isn't it? Can't love this. So you can walk right along the shore of the lake. Oh, what do we have in here? We have a bird in there or something. It's not a grouse. Not sure what it is. I almost missed that. It's so well camouflaged. Just sitting on the pieces of wood in there and amongst the trees. But if I walk up through there, it'll move. Let's see if it'll move. Not sure what that is. See, it stood on that piece of white board there. Kids have been building camps. Not sure what that is. I will look that up when I get home. Yes, you. I see you. Yeah. I've no idea what you are. It's got kind of a pointy head. I will look that up when I get home. Not sure what that is. Not going to disturb it. It's obviously quite happy being there. Almost missed that. If it hadn't moved, I'd never have seen it. It's very well camouflaged. Yeah. But it moved just a little bit. Right, I will continue on my way around. Time to head down the hill. Right then. I can tell you now, if you come through this trail in winter, wear spikes on this bit. This bit gets pretty icy. Yeah. It's very nice, but it does get icy. This is one of my favourite parts of this walk, actually, down through here. Once we get into the weasel head, that's also nice. So you can walk all the way down along the bottom of the reservoir there, but I think this is much nicer. Yeah. Next time I find a bench, I'm going to have to sit down and drink of water, I think. But this is why this area is nicer. Nicer trees, nicer forest. This is the nice bit to end the walk with. rather than a bit up round past the hospital and all that, and then by the road. I'm not a great fan of big roads like that. Either way, unfortunately they are a necessary part of our society. Hard to do anything without roads. We could have better infrastructure and better roads. I'll give them that. Better use of roads. People are always going about, I hear all this, oh, we need to have electric cars and electric this and all that kind of stuff. Well, firstly, there's not enough lithium in the world to actually achieve the targets that they want. There's about a 20 million tonne shortfall. Even if you project out many decades from now, there is still a 20 million tonne per year shortfall in the amount of lithium that these politicians say we should have. Unless the politicians have a lithium mine in their back garden, they might want to actually listen to the scientists that are telling them, hey, great plan, but yeah, the best solution, of course, would be to ultimately reduce the number of cars. That would be a better solution. And one of the ways to do that, of course, is to increase public transit. Make trains and buses and what have you go to places that people want them to go to, yeah, when they need them to go there, you know. Transit should be a service, not a paid, what's the word I'm looking for? Not something you've got to pay for. Transit should be a city service. Yeah. It's easy done. There are many places in the world that do it, and those places that do it have great success with it. It really is the way to go. If I wanted to come down to here by transit, it would cost me $3.25 per direction, which I know is peanuts, and I'm happy to pay it, and I quite often do. However, if it was free, lots more people would use it, because you can just hop on a bus, hop on a train, away you go. But you've got to have those things go into places that people want them to go, which is why everybody takes their car. You know, there is talk at the moment, and I really hope they build it. They've been talking about the high-speed train line between Edmonton and Calgary since I moved to Calgary, which was some 25-30 years ago. When did I move here? 95 I moved here, so 27 years ago. They've been talking about building that since then, and nobody's actually built it. The company that's talking about building it now is also talking about introducing a public train system that would go from here, high-speed rail, out from Edmonton to Calgary, Calgary out to Banff and Lake Louise. If you went out on the Trans-Canada Highway today, I guarantee you 90% of the traffic that you see is heading to Banff, Lake Louise area, to the national park area, guaranteed. All those cars are heading up there somewhere. Now Banff has a free transit system once you're actually in Banff, so you can just like hop on the what's it called, Go Transit or something like that, I don't know, and it takes you up to the local ski hills and all that kind of stuff. So that's really, really good, but you've got to get there first. If I had a choice of just hopping on a train and heading up to the mountains, I'd hop on a train, because it'll take me to where I need to go. I haven't got to mess about. I can just stop, get off. There's many places up there that I enjoy hiking and walking and visiting and what have you, and I could do it basically for nothing. Just hop on a train. It's a great service, but it should be done as a service. So they say about reducing the number of cars and emissions and all that. Make it possible for people to do that. It's very, very simple. We have trail camera. See, there's a trail camera there on the tree. That's for wildlife, because down through here, this is somewhere you can see bears and stuff. So, yeah, and we are in the city, so good idea to make some noise and keep your eyes open. Right, so I will stop waffling about transit and get on with enjoying my walk. But it is definitely something that should be looked at. Get people out of their cars, get them onto trains. We used to have, in Calgary here, we used to have street trains, like trolley buses and stuff. But what happened was, way back when, because there were trolley buses everywhere, and everybody used to use them. But then the car industry wanted everybody to buy cars, of course. That's how they make their money. So the car industry bought up all the streetcar business, all the trams and what have you, and then immediately closed them all down. So people had to buy cars. That was their marketing ploy. Done, finished, get rid of the trains, now you have to have a car. So we built our cities and what have you to be car centric, not people centric. So you need a car to go anywhere. You know, I can walk to a grocery store from where I live, but lugging all that groceries all the way home up the hill, not so much fun. Yeah? But we've created a society that relies on cars. Now we have to uninvent it, if you like. We've got to get away from it. And one of the ways of doing that is to get back to the streetcars and trolleys. A lot of places around the world are doing it, and they're having great success. So I will stop rabbiting for a bit and then get down in the forest a bit further up here. Just talking to a lady, had a really good picture of a woodpecker up in here somewhere, bright red head. She's got a really good picture of it, really cool. And this is more into the aspen forest end of the trail. There is a way that you can cut across that. If the water's low enough and it's cold enough in winter, you can cut across that way. However, look at these trees, look at that, isn't that nice? I do like the fall colours. This is a perfect time of the year for walking because the mosquitoes are gone, yay! And the I just heard the train whistle in the distance. Yeah. If this is not a nice walk, I don't know what is. Yeah. Like I say, off to my left at the top of the hill there is a proper tarmac path, and this trail will actually join onto it in a moment. But eventually I'll have to get back onto that, unfortunately, until I get down into the what's called the Weaselhead area. Then I can kind of get back onto some of the more forested trails. But if you want a very nice walk, then bear in mind this is in the city. This is not outside the city somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. This is in the city of Calgary. You know, we're not quite downtown Calgary, we're really far off. Yeah, I'm absolutely surrounded by city here. So, yeah. Now I do know in the winter this trail that goes off down across there, I don't know whether I can get across there this time of the year. I know I can get across that way because there's a bridge that way. I don't know if I can get across here with the amount of water that there is in there. Oh well, what do you reckon? Yeah, let's go and have a look. See if I can. Can always come back up if I can't, because I'm heading right down to water level. Now in the winter I know I can get across here. This is where a lot of the beavers live. There's the beaver pond off to my left here. And there's a very nice bridge up there. But I'm not sure if I can get through this way. In fact, I think I can see water. Let's go and have a look. I think the answer to that is no. See, the trail is completely full of water. Yeah, no, I can't get through there at the moment. They do have the water level up a bit, so I will head back up that way. Right, back on the trail. It's like detour. Beavers are going to like that. Pond's filled right up. Now if I continue on down through here, there is another advantage of coming this way, especially in the winter, because there is one hill that comes off where the bridge is at the top here, and going up that hill in the winter can be pretty icy. There is a handrail on one side, and I have had to pull myself up the hill before now using the handrail. So wish you could smell this forest. It's absolutely amazing. I spoke to a very nice lady. I've had collecting pictures of birds, which there is an absolute abundance of down through here. Lots of dead standing trees too. It's really good for the environment. Insects absolutely love all that. It's where they live. Most healthy trees have defences against invasion by insects. That's how they survive. However, when they die, you end up with a stump like that one there. It's broken off about 20 feet up. They're absolutely vital. Right, here we have a map, and I'm currently on that little brown line at the bottom where the red pointer is. I'm going to cut across to the main pathway. The bridge I was referring to earlier is down here. This is very steep. This piece down here in the winter can be very steep. I've come all the way along these paths here. There is a path that cuts across in the winter. You can go straight across there. However, this is actually wet up in here as well. It doesn't show it in the picture, but this is actually all up through here is really wet. There's a lake, beaver pond down to my right here. So I'm going to head back up onto this green bit and then up through that way. I think I'm going to use the green path all the way through. Right. Lots of people out and about running. I see loads of people running. Yeah. That's good. You're not allowed bikes on this particular piece of path. Off to my left is bike pathway. Oh, more people. Just let these people go by. Morning. Morning. Right. Can't get over these colours. Absolutely amazing. Yes, that pathway that goes across the open bit. It's actually very handy in the winter. It cuts this corner right off. Yeah. I much prefer walking on these trails than the tarmac one. You're not allowed bikes down through these side trails, but obviously the tarmac ones, that's what they're made for. Yeah. There's a very nice bird off to my right just now. Not sure what it was, making an amazing noise. However, I couldn't see it, so not sure what it was. Sounded very good though. Something chirping over there. Right, I think I need to go that way. Somebody has taken all the signs off. They had all these new signs on here, and somebody's taken all the blooming signs off. I don't know why. Seems kind of silly, but whatever. So I'm going to cut across here. Loads of dead standing. Yeah. See, trees like this. See where the holes. That's where the insects and that all get in here. Absolutely vital to the survival of the forest and stuff. Absolutely vital. Yeah. Right, I will put this away for a moment and do some more in a minute. And the reservoir will bring you around here. See this gentleman coming up here on a bike. If I'd have walked on a tarmac, I'd have come around there and continued on down that way. And that's a fairly straight path already. That's part of the pathway that goes right around the entire city. Goes all the way around there. You always find loads and loads of people riding bikes along here. It's nice and flat. Yeah. In the floods of 2013, I keep seeing debris and what have you in the bushes and that. I would have been, this water where I'm stood now would have been about 5, maybe 8 feet deep, just to give you some idea how much water there was across here. So that's the main pathway that runs through the middle. I'm not going that way, I'm cutting through this way because this is a nicer walk. Yeah. Oh, there's one with a sign on it, see? Yeah. I keep seeing loads of these new posts they've put up. Maybe the glue they put on there wasn't good or whatever, I don't know, who knows. They did glue them on. So I'm going to head up this green one here. There are loads of trails. This yellow one is a very nice trail all the way around. Yeah, that's a very nice walk around there. You can actually get up in here fairways, but I'm just going to go around the green one around here. There's a boardwalk around here, and that'll bring me around to some nice benches and that around there. I'm going to go around that way. Right, on I go. This is rather nice through here. I keep seeing all the willow bushes and that all bent over. If I see some, I'll show you. I can see where they're all bent by the water in the floods. Absolutely horrendous. Which is why they're doing all the flood defences and what have you around the city. It's absolutely vital that they do that. Right, I will continue on my way and find a bench. I just saw a very nice white-tailed deer disappear off in the woods beside me. It's heading around a little bit more into the sun here now, but the trail is wider. The trails down in here, there are some big trails, little trails. This is one of the wider trails. Goes up, there's a nice boardwalk up the end here. If I remember rightly, there's some nice benches too. Yes. Ah, looks like they've got one of the trails up here closed off. Not sure why. Find out in a minute. There's several little side trails go off here. They have one closed off for some reason. Let's go and see. Hopefully it's not the one I want. Like I say, this is not a bad walk when you consider we are in the middle of the city. Yeah. Oh, that's a tidy sized tree down there. Yeah. That one definitely came down with a bang. Yeah. Right, let's see what we got going on here. Ah, this is why they had the sign back there. This through here gets a little wet. Remember I said they got the water filled up quite a bit? That bloop, bloop, bloop. Right, well I will need to do a little detour. I have to do a day trail off to the side here somewhere. I happen to know that there's a little ways that I can travel up through this side over here. Right, it's down through here. Right, I have to do a bit of day bushwhacking. Yes, it is full through here, isn't it? Yeah, there's a couple of areas through here where it's flooded, but there are little trails through here. Deer are amazing at making trails. This is where I follow 99% of my time out in the mountains, usually deer trails. So, fortunately there are a lot of them in here. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's well underwater. I thought the reservoir was looking pretty full. Oh, there's a bench. If I can get round to there. Might have to swim to this bench, but let's see if I can, just for the sheer hell of it. Yes, this bench is in the water, but I'm going to sit on it anyway. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, now this is good. Sitting on a bench in the middle of a swamp. The boardwalk has decided it's going to be underwater now, I guess. Yeah, so I'm going to sit here, have a drink. I've sat here many times. There's a bridge down there. Fortunately the bridge is still there, otherwise I'd be well in trouble. Otherwise I'd have to backtrack a considerable distance to get around this piece. Right, so I'm going to have a drink of water, and I think I'm going to remove one of my layers. I've got several layers on from when I set out this morning. I think I'm going to whip one of those off. Right, that'll do for the mo. Well, I don't think I've ever seen the boardwalk under that much water. That's a lot of water. Somebody just gone up there in a kayak. First time I've seen enough water in there for somebody to kayak up as well. It's not normally. Yeah, not sure how far they're going to get. Just, look at that. Normally this is quite narrow up through here. I'm not sure how far they're going to get. See, there's somebody going up there. Look. I think he's going to find there's a whole bunch of trees down and then up in there. Not sure he's going to get too far. Right. Some good sized trees down in here. Look. Yeah. Right. I'm going to head down over the bridge. This bridge, I have a name for this bridge. I will tell you in a moment what that name is. Good morning.
Hello.
Right, this bridge here, I call this little short one, This is what I call horse poop bridge, because every time I come across this bridge it's usually covered in horse poop. No idea why. I've got to go across that green bridge over there in a moment. In the winter you can walk straight across here, yeah. But I have to say, the water is up a long way. It is way higher than it normally is. Yeah, right. Let's head up for the bridge. Yeah, the guy in that kayak, he's up around that corner. I can see where he's disturbing the water. I can see the ripples in the water. But all up on the right hand side of here, there's normally a very nice boardwalk up through there, but it's actually underwater. So, yeah, that's not good. Yes. But if that doesn't make for a nice picture, I don't know what does. Yeah. Look at that, very nice. Right, yes, this one I like. That's right, there we go. The side trail that I showed you, you can cross in winter, comes out there, and then you just head up over this bridge. There's no horses on pathway. I'm not quite sure how they expect the horses to get across here, yeah. Especially with the water that high. Like I say, this water is way up, way up. Lots of people out enjoying the high water there. That's good. Nice to see. Yeah. Yes. A bit further upstream at Griffiths Wood, it's very wet at the moment. Normally that bridge that goes over there, there's a creek under there that's maybe 8 to 10 feet wide, maybe. Yeah. As you can see, it's full. Yeah. You got a lot in there. That's good. Right. Let's continue on around this way. That's a good way to travel. Yeah, go on. He's looking at it. He wants to. He wants to go up there. Yeah. I would. Not very often you get the paddle up there. Yeah. At the height of the floods, this bridge was pretty much an island. Right, I need to go across here and up that hill. There's a big hill coming up in front of me, which unfortunately I need to go up. And there's no pathway along the bottom. Not that's sustainable anyway. There are pathways along there, but there's just, you don't really want to chew those up. Yes, that water is very high.
You should double this thing.
Yes, look at that. Not often you see that water that high. Amazing, great shot, very nice. Right, well this is at the top of the hill. As you can see, there's the green bridge down there. Reservoir is really full. Those bits that you can see kind of coming up here and under the green bridge, they normally got next to no water in whatsoever. So, yeah, little toddler hidden down the trails. That's pretty cool. All over you'll find these red chairs everywhere. It's good. Off-road adventures, eh?
Yes.
Amazing when you're that age how big the hills look.
Yes.
Right, look at all the yellow. It's really cool. So there's the bridges down the bottom. That is the only crossing at this end. So you have to make sure you come over that way. Always a nice place to stop. There are little footpaths that go off down through here, but I can tell you now, every one of those in the bottom there will be full of water now. Yeah, every one of them. Yes, very nice indeed. Right, I'm going to continue on my way. Well, you get a good view here of just how much water is in here. See, the bridge over there has got a nice reflection on it. Normally the water that goes under that bridge is maybe 20 feet wide, and this bit down through here, all these bushes and shrubs and stuff, you can quite often walk down through this lot. Yeah. However, not so much today. That's good. I think they're backing the water up because there's not much water flowing out the mountain, so I think they're just making sure the reservoirs and everything's full. Yeah, that's good. Many things in life you can run out of. Water is not run on. Water is absolutely crucial. Run out of water, things get really bad, really fast. But that's one good thing about Calgary, is there is a very good water supply. Isn't that amazing, eh? I could sit and look at that for hours. Unfortunately, I don't have hours, so I need to get a move on. That's yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this piece up through here other than in the floods. This bit up the side here, all these bushes are and stuff, that's not normally underwater. You can quite often walk down through there. Yeah, they're up halfway down through there. Yeah. Looks like the geese are enjoying it. Very nice indeed. Let's do a little concept of scale here. That really nice forest that I walked through with the paths, that's all those big trees over the other side there. Way in the distance down there, you'll see the shore walk, as I call it, down over that where those tower blocks are. Bottom of it, there's that shore walk. There's the sailing club right smack in the middle there, all the way up round. Like I say, it's an amazing walk all the way around. It is a fair distance. It's about 12 kilometres plus, I think, something like that. Oh, hang on, I found some litter. Get rid of that. Right, well, I will call that the closeout shot, I think, for my video. I'm almost back to where I parked. It's one of the boats from the sailing club. Now, of course, the wind has dropped. Now they're in the middle of the lake. Yeah, but that is a good walk round. I can't believe how warm it is, actually. It's amazingly warm. Yeah, loads of people out enjoying it. Lots of people in kayaks and stuff. But if you've never done the walk around the reservoir, it's a good thing to do. It's a very easy walk. So you can do it on a bike as well. It's only about 12 kilometres round on a bike. Yeah, really easy. So I will call that it for now and head on back.